fight a seventh grader until I started teaching. Uh, I have not fought a seventh grader, but I was very close. Just kidding. So my name is Aaron Thomas. Today I am a teacher, a coach, a veteran, a mentor, and a husband. And I also host a podcast called Excellence Above Talent. It is a podcast where men talk about our issues because for so long, I believe someone said men aren't supposed to cry or have emotions or feel, and the podcast is just there to break all those cycles and say that it is okay as a man to cry and to feel and to be vulnerable. Um, I was raised by a single mother who worked hard to provide for me and my four siblings. Like many young men, I struggled to find direction and purpose. I made poor decisions and struggled academically, not because I wasn't smart, but because I just didn't want to be at school. And after my first semester of college, I had a GPA of 0.26. Yeah, that's not good. And only reason why I had a 0.26 is because freshman seminar was one credit, and I failed the first semester. And the second semester, I had all the paperwork, so I just turned it in. Looking back, I wasn't living with much intention. I was simply reacting to life instead of leading it. At 18 years old, I joined the Army, and at 19, I was deployed to Iraq. During my deployment, I participated in more than 100 combat missions, and through those experiences, they taught me responsibility, discipline, and resilience. But they also left me carrying things I didn't fully understand. When I came home, I thought I could handle everything on my own. I believed strength meant staying silent. I believed vulnerability was weakness, so instead of dealing with my struggles, I buried them. For years, I carried trauma, anger, and pain that no one could see. On the outside, I looked fine. I showed up. I worked hard. I helped other people. But internally, I was struggling. At 28, I had reached the lowest point in my life and attempted suicide. One thing I've learned since then is that many people aren't trying to end their lives. They're trying to end their pain. And that's where I was at. I spent many years carrying burdens without ever addressing them. But my healing did not happen overnight. It wasn't one big breakthrough. It was a series of decisions. I started asking for help. I strengthened my relationship with God. I committed to my physical health. I surrounded myself with people who would hold me accountable and tell me the truth when I needed to hear it. Most importantly, I stopped pretending I was okay. I learned that healing begins when honesty begins. And so today, I have the privilege of working with young people, mentoring men, and having the tough conversations about mental health, accountability, and personal growth. Not because I have all the answers, but because I know what it feels like to struggle in silence. And if there's one thing I hope people take away from this story, it's this. Your current struggles does not define your future. No matter what you've been through, there is still hope. There is still purpose. There is still another chapter waiting to be written. Asking for help is not weakness, it's courage. Healing is possible, growth is possible, change is possible. There were moments in my life when I wasn't sure I would make it here. But by God's grace, I did. And if my story helps even one person choose hope over giving up, then sharing it is worth it. And I always have this saying at the end of my podcast. If anyone hasn't told you today that they love you, let me be the first to say I love you. You are awesome. You are amazing. You deserve the best that this world has to offer. Do not give up. Do not quit. The world does not get easier, but you get stronger. Thank you.